Hey, good morning, world. Man, thought I'd hop on here right before the holiday season gets started and drop you guys a few lines on what I'm looking forward to this holiday season. Number one, I just thank God for being alive. It's a blessing to experience another holiday season and realize that God didn't have to allow me to be here all these years and experience all of what I've experienced, from a child up until, you know, my ripe old age that I am now. It's truly a blessing to know that I've been favored and, somebody's up there is looking out for me and, really hold me as, a special child or being, in their sight to allow me to experience, another holiday season and just another day, And I just want people not to, to lose their mind like, we always do with shopping and, throwing ourselves into debt. When will we learn that this whole spending spree at the end of the year is designed to fill the coffers of corporate America, man. We see what corporate America view us as. We're just robots. We do the same thing year in and year out. Why do we spend money on stuff that we don't need to impress people that we don't like? you know a phone is a phone is a phone. Every year we buying an up to date phone when they all do the same thing, and and whatever extra that they do, it just really just it's really overrated. But you know, so I'm. But anyway, I just want everybody to know that life is worth living, even though there's a lot going on. But try to challenge yourself to come up a little higher. You know, Save most more of your money. Stop letting it go out the door every time you collect it. It's a lot of stuff that you can do to improve on your situation. And for me, it took me to get in a different environment and be in a whole different setting than I am now. If I would have stayed where I was, I would have been still doing the same things that I've always done. I lived in New Orleans over over 40 some odd years. I'm 54 years old now. Thank the Lord that He's preserving me and keeping me alive. It's in the 41st Psalms. But I truly am ecstatic and feel very grateful of all the things that I've seen throughout my life and all the stuff that I acquired and all the people that passed my way and just laid different nuggets on me throughout the years. You know, I had an unorthodox childhood. It wasn't normal. I grew up in the Seven Ward, you know, right out, right, I guess what you say, right outside of, I guess they called it back of town. I don't know, but anyway, I just existed, and God kind of hid me away. I was hid away, and during that gestation period, I saw a lot. I experienced a lot. Met a whole lot of people that they just added to my life, and I had friendships that were just magical, and just personalities came together that otherwise would have never came together down there in New Orleans. And it was just a blessing to run into a community. There was ever an example of a village raising a child. I guess I am the child that the village raised that's still here. Because if it wasn't for the people that invested in my life, like Mr. Matthew, a good old soul, Mr. Siano, you know, every chance he got, he took us under his wing, me and my brother Wendell, brought us along to make a few extra pennies, $5 back in the 70s. Well, man, you was rich. He used to take us to clean up, and I realized what he was doing now. He just was showing us a little bit of how he was teaching his sons. He just made me and my brother share that experience of earning money. I'm talking about we were like 6, 7. It was very special. It's, I love that old man. He was see him today, man. I hug him. Might drop a few tears. Mr. George St. Julian. He was a good old soul. I remember many times when he used to come out, and just say little nuggets to encourage me and my brothers. And he was kind of different. And he was a deep thinker, Mr. St. Julian. I really now respected everything that he did. He didn't. You know, that was the place where all the kids went to have fun, man. He had a ping pong table there, man. Oh man, we learned a lot. It's man, back in the 70s, man. Mr. George St. Julian Garage, man. We used to have ping pong tournaments that would turn into all day. People be sitting around that table, man, and you just acquire a whole lot of conversation, and man, it was just you could have made a sitcom out of all that was going on in that garage on Dual Street in 7th Ward. Man, I remember Mr. Faraboss. He was an old guy. He reminded me of the rich couple on Gilligan's Island, the Howells. But it rarely come out, man. But oh man, but when they did, it was like you would know it. Good old soul. They were instrumental in talking and letting you into their lives, and they didn't have any children that I knew of, but they would hire us to do little miscellaneous stuff around their yard. I remember Mr. Haynes across the street, along with Mr. Matthew. Man, Mr. Haynes was, man, he was always into something. I always would catch him coming and going from work. I didn't know exactly what he did till I got older, but he was a good guy, man. Had beautiful daughters, man. We all were just it just was one community, man. Like I said, if there ever was a time where a community raised a young man or children, I'm a product of that. And I remember, and there was a church rectory where Catholic Church, Epiphany Church, was like across the street, man. We would meet up every day in front of Epiphany School, man. Sit by the statue of the Madonna. We would meet up there. It was so surreal how we would just all just meet up at the statue of the Madonna in front of Epiphany and come up with stuff to do. We would just sit there for hours and just conversate about what's going on in the neighborhood, man. It was so special, man. Some days when my life gets hectic and, spinning wildly, for me to bring myself down or, calm my spirit down, I just go back into my memories, man, and just think about, you know, that Seven Ward neighborhood and, and the experiences and the things that really made my soul happy, and that would just bring me back to myself. And, and I would, that would just settle me down, so I just thank God, that He's blessed me, to be here at this age, and see, another generation, surface. I kind of realize, I'm the elder statesman. A lot of people counting on me for guidance, experience, and wisdom for me to talk some things into them that make them come up higher, in their intellect and their thinking, And I just wanted everybody to know, it's just a blessing to be alive. 2017 going into 2018. A lot of people, you know, ain't here that started this thing out with me, but so the onus is on me to continue it as long as the good Lord gives me to continue it. So I just want to tell everybody hello. This is Richmond, aka Ricky. From the Seven Board. Still around. Still doing my thing in my own way. I just want you guys to be blessed. Never take life for granted, because you never know what God has in store for you. Be blessed.